The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Baba Gusta, and our admin, Eisen, as we are here for a big showdown in the second half of Day 4 of Division 1. In Season 2 of this Pro League, ladies and gentlemen, it is Monkas versus Red Vipers going live on your screens right now, and the match has already begun. As you can see, we're already almost done with the ban phase, as Thatcher, Montaigne, and Kaid have been banned. We had to start the match a little bit earlier than when we ourselves came live, of course, and that was because Monkas, they've informed us that they're on a little bit of a strict timer. So we had to get started nice and quickly, and as you can see, nothing too particularly special about the bans today. It's a clubhouse game. Thatcher, Montaigne, Kaid, and Wamai are the bands today on this map. Everybody's favorite party house is here once again, and interestingly enough, excuse me right there, the Maverick has been left in play along with Mira. So who knows, with Monka S on the defense, we might be able to see a few Mira plays, or will Red Vipers in the attack be able to counter those should Monka S go for those plays. Unfortunately for Monka S, QB seems to not have joined us. It's going to be Super Scriptic along with his teammates Jora, Firefly, Definitely Noob, and Ishan, i.e. Buckinator. And then, of course, from the side of Red Vipers, we've got Killsteel and Valid, Kurosaki, Seth, and Anaconda. It is going to be a very, very amazing game, interesting game, as the first side of choice is Basement Church and Arsenal Room. And I've kept the man for the mic long enough. Baba, take it away.
Well, starting off with round 1, Basement Church will be the side. We do see a Montaigne being banned, which gives a targeted ban to Firefly, because most of the time you do see Firefly playing as the Montaigne. So banning him would force Firefly to either play the Kaid, or actually Kaid is also banned on the side of defense. Would you look at that? Looks like it's a targeted ban coming in from Red Vipers, I believe. Both of the bans, I believe. And yeah, for now, the prep phase will eventually come to an end. We do see some extended roam coming in from Team Monka S, as Kurosaki will be spawned in from the main entrance, followed up with a total of 3 attackers spawned in towards the warehouse. With that, drone will be able to detect a total of 3 players. I believe that would be Buckinator, definitely, and Scriptic, who is apparently roaming in from that nearby vicinity of the lounge. Definitely might be able to find one, but unfortunately he's gonna go down, as Anaconda will be the one to get the first frag of the first match, eliminating definitely as the Vigil goes down. An early kill comes for Red Vipers, and they are almost nearby going toward the site, although they do need to make some vertical lines of sights, either with the help of the Zofia impact nades, breach charges, and also opening up the hatches, in which the Maverick is doing right now.
Well, with the verticality being opened up from the side of Red Vipers, that was a quick one as well from Anaconda, mind you. Pretty efficient, all things considered. He's going to be able to open up a second hatch very, very easily, should he be required to. Right now, of course, it's going to be a kitchen hatch breach. Unless, wait a minute.
Bomb located by attackers.
That's a little interesting. That that summer breach is currently sitting inactive, which indicates a meat jammer close by. But I'm thinking if the meat jammer's on the boxes, that would have actually stopped that summer from going off. But looks like it's been taken care of nice and quickly as the C4 did go out. But there goes the Legion in the meanwhile, trying to play vertical, gets taken out by Kurosaki, who was waiting in the main hall door. And finally, the summer breach will happen from Invalid. That was a little bit of a back and forth that I don't think he wanted for himself or his team, as Firefly will go down in the meanwhile. That's a little bit unfortunate, as Monkas are not starting off on the right foot, but here is the Valkyrie Buckinator trying to get one, and he will. Seth goes down, but the plant is going off in the meanwhile. It's down to him and Jora in a 2v4 post-plant. Jora's coming in into kitchen, and he's going to be held because Invalid has just gone down, but he doesn't know where the Zofia is, as Sean will fall. It's all down to Jora. 1v3 post-plant, and the man is in kitchen, and I believe Red Vipers know his position that has been given away, and they're watching. Look at them. But no, the Maverick is not. He will go down. That gives away Jora's position to both Kurosaki and Killsteel, as Red Vipers are more than in a comfortable position to secure this round. The Jaeger's dropped. He's going to go for the counter defuse. But there is Kurosaki with the 2 stuns. They're going to miss, as Jora's going to try to go for the peak, but he will fail, and Kurosaki will take the kill. Jora goes down, and that is going to be a big start for the side of Red Vipers. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, as Red Vipers starting off on the right foot, taking the first round on Basement Church.
Well, a good start from the Team Red Vipers on the side of it, especially in the attack side, getting those breaches done, making vertical lines aside, eliminating those roamers in the earliest amount of rounds, which gave them the attackers win in a post-plant situation. As we proceed to round 2, Basement Church will be the side. It will be the same operators. The only difference, we're going to see Jora playing as the Melusi, whereas definitely who was playing as the Vigil will now be playing as the Jaeger. Red Vipers, they did get that good round, so as the site will be on yet again Basement Church, looks like they've changed their decision mid-wise when they tried to make a decision. So I'm just going to write it on Basement Church in round 2. Scratch the second floor CCTV. There you go.
Ah, yes. There we go.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
infamous prediction fails. About as infamous as Ishan's observation tools, but I digress, you know.
Wow.
10 seconds left.
Memories.
Great memories. Not for Monka, but for everybody else involved.
Before insertion.
Yeah. Well, action phase will proceed for Red Vipers, and it's going to be the same side, Basement Church, as we see Ishan currently in the blue stairs, hopefully finishing up placing the Valkyrie camps to provide useful information for their teammates, so that they'll be able to at least go for a flank opportunities, or just use that information to wait for a trap to set in. Definitely, he's just making some last minute utility placements. The ADSs, the Melusi's Banshee Deterrent, actually definitely is placing the ADSs, as well as Jora placing his Melusi's Banshee Deterrent. And it's we don't see any smoke plays being used. Actually, there is a deployable shield and a ADS is being placed from the tunnels. Although we don't see a smoke being played from Monka S, it will be a very interesting take on how well that they're going to hold on to this particular site. Although we do see Skryptic with the Legions, he has a total of 2 impact grenades. He's going to be using it to make sure that they don't get the hatch of kitchen as soon as possible. Firefly, you really need to be careful with that SMG-11. He just needs to wait for that head to pop out, but ooh, that's quite unfortunate there, as Kurosaki will deny it, eliminating Firefly. Jora tries to contest one, but he's going to fail as well, making it a 5v3 situation here, as Seth claimed the life of Jora. It's going to be very difficult here, since Monka has have failed to deny the opening of the hatch in kitchen, which would give Red Vipers in a very advantageous situation.
Oh, definitely. Red Vipers taking those 2 early kills. At one point, we saw Invalid's health go down because of C4, and I thought with the Melusi contesting vertically, that will be it for the ace, but it was not to be, as Seth came in and just deleted Chora from the main stairs hallway door. And that, unfortunately, for Monka is going to mean another one goes down. Seth with a triple. He's going off right now. It's all down to the Jaeger, and he's trying to find the thermite. He will find one, but can he find even more? He's caught inside of dirt. Definitely is in a bad position. He will down and kill Kurosaki. That's another one confirmed, but he doesn't know where Seth is, and that's going to be the quad for the Ash. Red Vipers opening really strong right now, as they will take Basement Church for the second time, and this time playing more akin to Demon's Force with their hyper aggression and utility clearance coming in as soon as possible, as they read into the way Monka S was playing. And unfortunately, Monka S seemed to be a little out of it today. Not sure what's happened, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll be going to second for CCTV and a church room with round 3 starting up.
Well, for Monka S, this is definitely not a good day for them today. Losing 2 defending rounds, and that too on Basement Church, is quite a worrying setup as a Monka S fan. So with the side being on second floor CCTV, maybe we might be able to see
Attackers need
some
to locate and defuse
maybe
as
we
many
might be
bombs
able
as
to
they
see
can.
some revival plays coming in either from Buckinator or Firefly. So yes, it's been a huge a huge bump in the road for them, since they've had a lot of problems dealing with, especially in the majors. But hopefully they'll be able to recover things back up, making sure that the amount of losses that they've had in some of those matches, maybe they'll try to hope up that they won't make those mistakes again next time. But for now, they just have to focus on a match against Red Vipers, and looking about their match history, it's not looking too good, but it's not the end for them just yet. It's still the first half. There is still more rounds to be won, so we might be able to see Monka as winning at least 1 or 2 defending rounds as we proceed to the action phase. Jora making some final rotations, giving them the access towards the Garage Catwalk, as Ishan will be placing his Valkyrie camps to give good amount of information right from that exact location. Killsteel will now proceed to move towards the CCTV balcony. He just needs to wait for either a Zofia or technically one of the operator which has the ability to eliminate the bandit charges, in which Maverick also has a job to do. So we may be able to see one breaching torch being used to eliminate the charges, followed up with the Thermite's breaching charges being used to open up lines of sight, or we might be able to see a huge push from construction. And talking about it, Anaconda is it's actually in a very bad state here. If he goes for the repel again and gets caught from the bandits' electro damage, unfortunately he's just going to go down. And talking about it, it is the stake has gone very high here. Nade has been denied, and looks like Red Vipers are in a very sticky situation here.
Oh, definitely. But Seth will start things off once again. Buckinator falls. That's a Shan going down. Something they did not need. The Valkyries off the board, even though those black eye cameras will still be in play. That's an ill-advised peek from Firefly right there. Killsteel will take a good advantage of that, as he was already prepared on that angle. Definitely is now trying to contest that. He's done some damage to Killsteel and taken some in return. Scripting himself a little bit low, admittedly. But other than that, the side of Red Vipers are looking pretty strong. Make that one less in that strength meter, as Super Scriptic will take one down. And that was Killsteel. The Thermite's gone, but the hard breaches have been done on both sides. Construction wall and the main wall. As all they need now is a Zofia or an Ash to come in and finish off the breach on main. C4 goes out. That's not going to find anybody, however, as here we go. The soft breach happens. Kurosaki, he's got lines of sight inside his sight. He knows that there's somebody in the garage and definitely has to fall back, as Jora's trying to contest, but he will find Seth in the meanwhile. But there's a Hibana coming up close. He does not know he will fall. And now it's a 3v2. Invalid's going for the plant. Will he be denied? It looks like he will, as definitely comes in. He takes a big one, and that diffuser drop might just be what swings this round in the favor of Monka S. Will the Zofia fall? Yes, he will. Definitely comes in to find Kurosaki. And now it's all down to the Maverick, who goes down to Scriptic, and Anaconda will fall. And it was a very good, very well played 2v4, I believe, from the side of Monka S, as they desperately needed those kills. It was 2v3, excuse me. They needed those kills. They needed to drop the diffuser, and they did. As going into round 4, they will have put their first round on board, denying that 3-round lead for the side of Red Vipers, and it is 2-1, still in the favor of RV, but just by 1 round.
Well, just by 1 round, absolutely, Jack. And talking about the round here, Basement Church will be the site for them yet again. The same site in which Red Vipers won their attack 2 times in a row. Will we see some major changes from the operators as we see a 6-pick coming in from Firefly, switching from the Bandit to Firefly, switching from the Bandit to the Pulse, but unfortunately he decided to just pick Mute instead. Quite surprisingly enough, we won't be able to see a smoke being played, neither a Melusi. Actually, there is Melusi being picked from
Attackers need to
Jora,
locate
but
and defuse as
you-
many
you-
bombs as
we
they
don't
can.
see a smoke being played, but instead we do see Firefly with the shotgun SMG 11. He'll be the one holding the site on tunnels. The only problem is he has a C4, but not a smoke gas canisters, which would avoid the attackers pushing in towards the site. A total of 30 seconds the attackers need to wait from that tunnel just so that they could push from that exact, just so that they can get the entrance towards on the Arsenal room to hopefully go for the plant. So it will be an interesting take and also
10 seconds
an
to go.
interesting operator picks, as we do see Scriptic picking up the alibi
seconds to insertion.
and Ishan with yet again playing to Valkyrie. So talking about the past
Attackers are
2
moving out to
rounds,
locate a bomb and
what I
defuse it.
remember from Red Vipers is that they got early kills at around like 2-minute mark, like instantly. So if Red Vipers do get that early kill again and decide to push in towards the site, Monka S will have a lot of problems dealing in the next 2 rounds. Although second floor CCTV and second floor gym will be their only site in which Monka S have to put their faith on, but for now, Basement Church side, they need to make sure that they could at least equalize the man count again.
Absolutely. Equalizing the man count is going to be very important for Monkas. As we saw in the previous round, it was because they took those refrag fights that they were able to, get in. They were able to get the plant denial done. Sure, it was a little unconventional having your Jaeger sprint up from the red stairs, but whatever works in a situation where it's a 2v2 and both Scriptic and definitely were scrambling to get back control of site. They did it pretty well, all things considered, and unfortunately Red Vipers could not hold on to the lead that they had taken. Once
Bomb located
again,
by attackers.
mind you, Seth has been one of the orchestrators of those leads, and he's going to be doing it once again. You can see the man sprinting into the hallway. He knows that there's going to be a Banshee in the hallway as well. He's taken that out quickly, as that intel will be given away, but will they be able to counter Seth? Not yet. Shots are already fired as the man is holding on that main stairs door, as Red Vipers rely on him to stay alive and keep getting kills, because in the meanwhile, you have Scriptic denying by impact tricks, and Kurosaki is taking a bit of damage, not sure from where, and a little bit more damage, as finally the breach should go out. And I say should, I think it will. Scriptic, unfortunately, couldn't get the impact trick out as Jora is taking a bit of damage. Firefly will take down Anaconda in the meanwhile. Can he find one more? No, he can't. Caught in the switch as he will go down.
Well, 1 minute left for the attackers. They opened up the hatches on bar and kitchen. Now they just have to wait for a plan, maybe to execute, hopefully to make sure to eliminate one of the players holding in towards the Arsenal room. Although they do need to be careful of the flank routes in which Isan is trying to perform right now. Kurosaki is just holding the stock entrance, making sure that the flank would not happen from them, but they are slowly wasting time. 35 seconds left for the attackers. Scriptex still holding from the blue entrance as Ishan gets 2 kills. Invalid kill still goes down. That's an important kill for him, and also a diffuser has gone down. Kurosaki will be able to shut him down, but at what cost? Making it a 2v3 situation. This is going to be Monka S's game if they hold their ground. And talking about it, it is going to be equalized yet again as Kurosaki gets a triple kill, decides to drop in both for the plant because he has the diffuser in hand, but Melusi has eliminated the Ash, which leads to in a 1v2 situation. Jora has the C4, he's just waiting for the good information. Kurosaki gets a quad kill, but not the ace, in which Monka S will win round 4 Basement Church. And as we take a look at it in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, Monka S will be able to equalize the round 2-2 as we proceed to round 5, where second floor CCTV, actually second floor gym bedroom will be the site.
Jim being the side of choice after 2 back-to-back rounds coming out from Monka S. Pretty good, all things considered, even though this last round in Basement Church, they desperately needed Ishan to go in and get that double kill in kitchen. Had he not done that, then Red Vipers would have pushed in and gotten the plant off, maybe even held a post-plant to get a round win. That's something that Monka will be more than aware of, but now that they have managed to equalize, they'll be taking the positives out of that round, and that is the fact that they've
Attackers need to
equalized, they've
locate
taken
and
the
defuse
momentum
bombs.
away and stopped Red Vipers from running away with the first half of this match, and broken a little bit of a trend that had been creeping on when it comes to matches in the Pro League of dominant first halves, starting with Division 2 yesterday, and the Union Gaming game earlier today against Demus Force, which was also a very dominating first half. It was a dominating game in general, but the point still stands because it was 5-1 going into round 7 for UG. DF didn't exactly look good, but that sort of falls in with their recent spree of less than stellar games. And I really hope DF can come back from that sort of a situation and bring themselves back up to the glory that they used to have when it comes to playing matches. They are still a very fearsome team, as are Monkas and as are Red Vipers. All things considered, RV is a very good team and one to watch out for, the rate that they have been improving. And, you know, Division 1, something tells me, I mean, it's a gut feeling. I know that gut feelings aren't exactly something to be trusted, but, you know, something tells me that Division 1 might be in for a big change-up in the coming months.
Absolutely, Jack. And talking about how well Seth is performing on the attacker side, eliminating the important fraggers of Monka S, they are forced to make a hold in which it is very difficult for Monka S to hold on to, especially on Basement Church. But since they did hold their ground extremely well on the previous round, this site will absolutely be a challenge for Monka S and also a challenge for Red Vipers if they try to get those important kills. And talking about it, we do see some late reinforcements from the castle, but we do see a first frag that's going to be definitely eliminating Kurosaki. A double peak coming in from the Jaeger as well as Firefly, I believe, in which definitely gets one. Jora gets the other with the UMP, tries to contest with the other one, but he instantly gets denied from Anaconda, making it a refrag, but the man count is still favoring for Monka S as it is a 2v4 situation. The diffuser is down in CCTV. One of the air jabs has been rigged technically, in which in Buckinator get forward scripted with an impressive shot to eliminate Anaconda, which leads to kill steal in a 1v4 situation. Currently picking in towards the construction, goes for that pre-fire, will be able to deal good amount of damage to Scriptech, but he still wants to challenge that angle. He's in a very difficult position. C4 been tossed, and Firefly will get the final kill. Monka S winning round 5, second floor gym. As we look at it in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, we will proceed to the final first half of round 6 is Monka S's defense, where currently Monka S is in the lead, but not for now. But if Red Vipers did successfully win this site CCTV, they'll be able to equalize their round, making it 3-3 and a higher possibility of this match going to overtime.
Whether or not, of course, this game goes to overtime remains to be seen, ladies and gentlemen, as second for CCTV will be a site going into this last pre-roll swap round. The first half is about to end with a 3-2 scoreline being established by Monka S, who are looking pretty good right now. Had a bit of a late start tonight, but looks like everything is working fine and dandy because they have established their own momentum well and truly. Red Vipers, in the meanwhile, not exactly looking too good. That momentum that they were gaining because of the early jumps they were getting on Monka S, sort of taken them by surprise, has been read into. And Monka S have completely turned it on its head because in the last round, it was the polar opposite of what we saw back in round 1. If you remember round 1 on Basement Church, Red Vipers started out by taking a very quick couple of kills in for the first 2 rounds, only to then continue with that momentum gained to take an early round win. The previous round, that was the same case for Monka S. They completely turned the way the rounds were flowing in a full 180. and now they are the ones in the lead as well. It's only a one-round lead, mind you, and that can be equalized very quickly if Red Vipers plays this round to perfection. But of course, doing that is going to be pretty difficult. Again, Monka S are not going to be willing to give up, not at all. Even if they may have had a string of unfortunate matches or unfortunate showings, they will look to make amends. They will look to change it up. Practice makes perfect, as they say. And what better way to practice than against teams like Red Vipers, against teams like Union Gaming, against teams that you have gone up against and lost to before and won against before, really. It's all down to making sure that your plays as a team... Never mind. Jora will go down. That's a little unfortunate. The Mute trying to make some vertical holes. Lines of sight for himself will go down to his own self-made holes punched in the floor. That is the first kill secured for Red Vipers as Jora got a little bit too preoccupied with that one. As we will be proceeding with that first kill taken by Red Vipers.
Well, the push comes in from Seth, but doesn't work out well, but an instant refrag does come in from Invalid, eliminating definitely, as Invalid gets another one, eliminating Ishan as well. 4v2 situation. Monka S is definitely not in a good advantageous positioning here. Invalid use the Selma Breach charges to make lines of sight as Kurosaki gets another one right from the stock vertical line of sight, eliminating Cryptic, which leads to Firefly. All by himself in CCTV, decides to make a play. He needs to be careful. He needs that timing. He has the C4, the suppressor MP7. Will be able to find one, but the plant is in towards the cash room, in which he's running near the desk. The push comes in from Firefly, but Killsteel in the end gets that good headshot, eliminating Firefly, as Red Vipers will win round 6, second floor CCTV. As we proceed to round 7, role swap, where Red Vipers will be the one on defense. Technically, we did see a huge amount of errors in which we could not try to talk about and exactly what's happening there. Talking about first Jora, I mean, I do understand that in the late amount of runs you need to make lines of sights, but it would have been better that if making those vertical lines of sight would have been better if you do it in the prep phase rather than making it in the action phase at that time. But A for effort, he did try his best to, at least get some lines of sight, give some support to his teammates, but unfortunately, it just went quite the opposite. As we proceed to round 7, second floor CCTV will be the site. I hope so. No, there we go. Basement church will be the site.
Well, as they say, the caster's curse strikes again, ladies and gentlemen. I was going on and on and on about Monka S taking the rounds, bringing it back, bringing things back in their direction, taking the momentum, all of that good, feel happy stuff, and then they did that. It is what it is, as they say, Monka S. I understand that some rounds don't quite go your way, so I'm not going to take everything back per se, but definitely Red Vipers have put a dent in that momentum that Monka S had for a while. As right now we're going to be moving into round 7. Basement Church will be the site of choice. From the side of Red Vipers' defense, who did well on the attack, all things considered, having taken 2 rounds early and taken round 6 when they really needed it. And then, of course, now on the defense, they have that clubhouse advantage of a defender-sided map. Monka S, on the other hand, we know their attack. We've seen it time and time again, although without QB, some tells me things could be a little bit different, as Cryptic is playing today. Of course, it's been a while since we've seen Cryptic play, of course, and I'm looking forward to seeing his own take on the way Monka S goes about things. He's got the Hibana Heart Breach on for the round, as he will need to get those hatches or even some walls as and when required. Definitely a noob. In the meanwhile, with the Maverick, the double hard breach in Clubhouse, very standard stuff. And of course, Ishan with the Twitch. Hopefully he doesn't have any more mishaps today with Twitch. I'm pretty sure everybody knows which one I'm referring to, as a little bit of a callback to the majors just came into my head. I had to get rid of it in my system. Right now, of course, Red Vipers, they're mostly just sitting inside a site. Outside of, excuse me, Seth, who has been droned out inside of Secret Stairs. He's going to fall back for the time being, as verticality is being established inside the kitchen, and the hatches are being opened one by one. Monka is doing a more standard step-by-step attack than the hyper-aggressive one. I think we were sort of expecting.
Well, Jora will do his job using the hammers to provide vertical lines of sight from kitchen and also to deny that impact trick being made in which the Maestro has. Maestro currently is holding in a K9 position, making sure that he'll be able to hold both the tunnels as well as the hatch. But with the Hibana using her Excaro pellets to make lines of sight, I believe here comes the first denial. But unfortunately, that denial won't work out well, which leads to the kitchen hatch being opened, and so does the tunnel in which the Maverick's breaching torch has been used to give the entryway. Although he still needs to figure out a way to eliminate killsteal, in which Ishan is making an impressive job eliminating those ADSs, giving information, tries to tase the smoke, and a nade comes in which it would force killsteal to fall back in a particular position, but he's not going to give up that hold on tunnel just yet. He's going to make sure that Monka S won't have the control on tunnels, so that when the execution comes in, they'll be able to have a bit of resistance coming in from Team Red Vipers.
Absolutely. With 20 seconds remaining, Monka don't have much time, but there goes the smoke inside of dirt. A much-needed kill as it's 4v4 because Anaconda took one and he got taken down. There goes the Legion as well. It's all the bodies dropping. Seth, in the meanwhile, retaliates under Jora, but that's just one. They've lost 3, and they make that 4. It's all down to the 1v3, but Kurosaki's above. He's denied the plant, and there's only so long remaining. He needs to deny the plant again, but he doesn't know where the Hibana is. He has to drop, finds the Maverick and the planter! Kurosaki! Beautifully done from the kitchen hatch, taking and maintaining control. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. What a play and a half for the man with the Melusi. The MP5 coming in clutch for his team, as that will give Red Vipers round 7. And what a way to re-establish your lead. And there's nothing more morale breaking than that, ladies and gentlemen. Monka S is going to be hard to recover from that, even if there's only one round to equalize. But oh boy, this is going to be a big showdown indeed, because that shows Red Vipers, they are not willing to give up. Not in the slightest, and Monkas have to be very careful with how they choose to proceed.
I mean,
Defenders, protect
I'm
your
just trying
bombs
to
from being
check
defused by
about
attackers.
what exactly happened on the kitchen, because at the time of execute, there should be at least one attacker holding towards the kitchen hatch. That is...
There should be, yeah.
Yeah, there should be. It's technically the basics when it comes to executing on a site like Basement Church. Leaving kitchen hatch vulnerable for the defenders to push in, and Melusi, aka Kurosaki, making those plays. I don't know what exactly happened there for Team Monka S. Definitely, he was the one making those important plays. He was the one getting a total of 4 kills all by himself. Like eliminating one in K9 position, eliminating one on tunnel entrance, and also eliminating the one on church. But since he could not handle the heavy aggression in which Kurosaki made a brave, aggressive push, eliminating both of them, did give Team Red Vipers the win on Basement Church. Quite, I wouldn't say quite, but I would say it is a huge mistake coming in from Monka S. There wasn't, you know, at least having a single player in Kitchen Hatch would be viable for them, but for now, in round 8, second for CCTV, I hope they won't make that same mistake twice. As we do see Seth with the roaming duty, the vigil, in which it's going to be very difficult for the attackers to spot their attack drones, but they just have to, you know, use their guts, use their, you know, predictions to make sure that they'll be able to eliminate Vigil as best as possible. We do see the good amount of lines of sight being made from Anaconda there. Also, a huge impact hole being used from a shotgun, not from the impact, but ooh, we do see Anaconda taking a bit of damage from Skiptrex's gun there, Type 89, through the wall, and the hard wall has converted into a soft wall by none other than Maverick's breach torch. Looks like he's going to convert the hard wall into a soft wall to both of them, although they're just waiting for a hard breacher, aka Firefly, to at least use those breaching charges to open up the wall. But looks like they won't. Yeah, there you go. Firefly use the breaching charge to open up the walls on CCTV and proceed to push towards either on the blue entrance or to get control on the garage catwalk, in which Legion is holding on to. It looks like Seth and Kid have already got it running, eliminating both Firefly and Ishan. A very important kill coming in from Red Vipers. They just need to keep that momentum going to make sure that they'll be able to eliminate Monka S's strategies here, and it's working out very well. 1 minute 10 seconds left for the attackers. They haven't eliminated the rumors just yet. We do see the Vigil falling back towards the oil pit, as definitely is going to drone out, finding exactly where Killsteal's location is.
Absolutely. Red Vipers have done pretty well in the early round, going into the mid and now the late round. They've managed to avoid being refragged onto, and now all they need to do is establish garage control, and that will be the round. Because in a 2v5 with the plan going off, it's going to be massive pressure as Seth finds Jora in the meanwhile. That is the diffuser drop as well from the looks of it. And that's another nail in the coffin. Make that another one invalid. Finds Cryptic, and it's now all down to definitely a noob. He's going to see the Vigil down him, but does he get the Jaeger? No, he doesn't. Wasn't even able to confirm the kill onto the Vigil. He could only down him, and Invalid made sure that there was nothing more he could do. A flawless round from the side of Red Vipers on second floor CCTV, as things are not looking good, not at all, for the side of Monka S. They have come this far in terms of how they've played over the course of the many months and years we've seen these players. But today, it's not looking too good. Red Vipers have definitely taken a big lead in momentum, as definitely is going to have a bit of a disconnection. That's also not going to look too good, as Gym Bedroom will be the side of choice. We're just waiting to see if it is a solvable issue, in which case a rehost will be called, of course, unless it is a power cut or something to that extent, in which case there won't be any rehosts called. We're still waiting on Cas. They have the time. I don't think they will be. No calls been made just yet, so it looks like round 9 will go forward in a 4v5 capacity, with 5-3 being the scoreline. Red Vipers 1 round away from match point.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the standings, this standing is actually not updated after the UG versus Demon's Force on map Consulate. So according to that, we do see Union Gaming still high, winning 4 matches, followed up with Monka S in second place, having a total of 9 points. Currently, Red Vipers, they're not in a good situation there, as they've lost 3 rounds. They haven't won a single match, and they are in a higher chances of being relegated to Division 2. So winning more than 2 to 3 matches will give them at least a safe spot to either stay in Division 1, or at least have a chance to either be in the top 3 positions. But for now, they just need to focus on winning a match against the opposition, in which Red Vipers are currently holding the site of second floor gym. We do see CCTV hold, quite an interesting CCTV hold. Most of the time you do see the cache walls being reinforced, but this time reinforcing the walls of CCTV, as well as the garage catwalk wall, in which it would give a good holding capacity for the defenders to hold on to, unless and until if the attackers do use their hard reaching capabilities to make lines of sight, if they want to be aggressive, if they want to get control towards that side as best as possible. Because most of the pushes that you go on to, especially from the attackers, you would see them pushing towards the construction side, but looks like they'll be able to find one. Cryptic with the first frag, eliminating Kurosaki, and that one important one, in which he was holding on towards on CCTV. With him being going down, it will be a 4-4 equalizer coming in from Team Monka S.
That was a good kill from Scriptic. Much needed one as well, because Kurosaki is a pretty wily operator to go up against, a pretty slippery customer. And the man has gone down without the refrag coming in from the side of Red Vipers, it will be that much harder for them to defend against Monka S in this round. But with a minute and 20 remaining and no progress made towards site. Oh, that's unfortunate. Anaconda. That's not quite the place you go to for intel gathering, my man, as of course he was made more than aware of thanks to Jora as that kill was taken, and now some soft breach and hard breach to try and flush Killsteal out of bathroom, ironically enough. He will, of course, be forced out, and Invalid is now holding on the other side of the shield that is on the bathroom door. Of course, Killsteal, he's going to take a bit of damage as more grenades and utilities are being pelted towards him. And Killsteal, speaking of which, he's going to be inside of logistics, inside of the cast ash, as Seth will take Ishan down. The Twitch falls, and another grenade is being prepared, but he will not find the smoke, who was on the other side. Killsteal takes a lot of damage, but he's in a powerful position. All he has to do is fall back, but Firefly will find Invalid. That's a big and much required kill. Scriptic's already in. Can he find this kill? Jora will go down in the meanwhile, as that is Killsteal taking one more. It's a 2v2, all down to Firefly and Scriptic. Firefly's inside of sight, sees the Jaeger, but can't get the kill. He has to go for the plant because there's only so little time remaining. And Seth, can he find the planter? He's doing damage, but he can't get the kill, as Killsteal will find Firefly. That is the denial, and the shotgun comes out. Scriptic will fall, and from out of nowhere, once again, the plant will be denied, and the kill will be secured in quick succession from the side of Red Vipers, who have taken round 9. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, as definitely Monka were feeling the loss of their 5th. And it looks like it'll be the same case of 4v5 going into what could yet be the final round of the match. A very disheartening match for Monka S, ladies and gentlemen, and for Monka S fans out there, as it is 6-3 in favor of Red Vipers, excuse me. And we've got Capcan being brought out by Invalid. Interesting pick, with the Malusi being brought in place of the clash.
Well, I'm hoping they definitely would come back. I mean, not the word definitely, the username definitely a noob, but would come back to Monka S. So that, yeah, wordplay. But I mean, if Monka S did get his teammate back, maybe we might be able to see some. Maybe we might be able to see overtime match, but since Red Vipers have got this situation under control, all they have to do is win a site on Basement Church and make sure that the push from Monka S will be halted as soon as possible. And talking about halted, we do see the use of Capcan, in which Invalid will be the one playing. Currently he's placed on his ATVs right from the kitchen entrance, actually right from the freezer in which it's connected to the kitchen. Most of the attack pushes would arrive to open up the hatches of the kitchen. Technically, you do it with the help of the Ibana and also the sledge with the breaching hammers to provide lines of sight to make sure that the impact trick would not happen. So, Red Vipers 6-3, they are in match point and they need one more point to win the match against Monka S. So will it happen, or will we see Monka S getting this match up to overtime? We're about to find out.
Well, with the 6-3 situation happening for the side of Red Vipers, they only need one more round to go. And with Jora bringing in the buck, oh, that's a lot of damage for Scriptic in the meanwhile. Think that was a C4, or no, that was actually a Capcan trap. Never mind. Yep. You don't usually see the Capcan traps up there in the kitchen cold.
I just talked about it, Jack.
Every now and again. I know, Baba. Don't worry. I know what you said. But you know, as it were, I didn't think Scriptic would fall for it. I mean, come on. That is quite the Capcan trap to fall for, and Scriptic's gonna have to be very careful because, of course, seeing as he's a 1 armor 3 speed, he's taken an exponentially larger amount of damage than any other operator would have otherwise. I believe there should be another trap on this door, and he's not even going to go through that, using the breaching charge to take care of the Banshee quickly. But there's Seth to find Ishan in the meanwhile. The Twitch is down, and it's now a 5v3 Red Vipers. They have taken the lead in a dominating manner as the kitchen ash will be breached quickly. And, oh, never mind, the impact trick does come out, but I believe that was the second one from Anaconda, which means that Firefly will, oh, never mind, he's used used up his Excairo set somewhere else as well, which means he doesn't have any more Excairos remaining for any more hard breaches in this particular round. There's only so much remaining for the side of Monka S. 5v3, and time is working against them. A minute remains, and make that a 5v2. Kurosaki takes down Scriptic, and it's all now down to Firefly and Jora. Make that just Firefly. He's caught inside a kitchen, inside of cold room. All 5 defenders pushing his position. All the shots are fired, and the man can only do so much. He's down Kurosaki, but he can't even get the kill. He does get the kill on one, though. That is the smoke pushing out of dirt, and the Jaeger in the meanwhile is going to fall back because he had to reload. Because there's only so much, again, that Firefly can do. Bearing 9 in hand, he's trying to flashbang himself in. And Seth will take the kill. Firefly falls, and Red Vipers will wrap up a dominating performance over Monka S. While, of course, Monka S themselves didn't exactly have the best game in the world, especially towards the end, where their much-needed 5th could not join them back. It was not a day to be for them. Red Vipers are your victors here on the map of Clubhouse. 7-3 to them, as Kurosaki and Seth are going to be the ones to lead the charge. 14-5 and 13-6. Pretty good, all things considered. They might even be contenders for the SSDs and the other MVP prizes later on in the month, ladies and gentlemen. But, of course, that win will improve Red Vipers' positioning only slightly, because they'll need to win their matches tomorrow and day after as well in order to give themselves a better chance in staying in Division 1. If they are able to, then absolutely fantastic comeback from them from their less than stellar performance earlier in the month, of course. But we'll see where that takes them, as we will be going into Reel of the Moment to talk about the best moments, the highlights of this match that we just had. And it was a fairly interesting game, all things considered. I mean, sure, Monkas didn't exactly look all too good, but when they were able to read into Red Vipers' attack, they did pretty well to counter, because Red Vipers initially were doing work.
Absolutely, Jack. And talking about the attack phase from Team Red Vipers, we do see Seth was the one making those heavy lifting, getting those 3 kills, eliminating the early roamers that would be definitely playing as the Vigil. And most of the time you do see definitely playing either as the Vigil or as the Jaeger. Most of the time, Ishan just, kept playing as the Valkyrie, in which he used to give good amount of information, but in the end couldn't get the win. Although they did win at least 3 defending rounds: second floor CCTV, basement church, and second floor gym. The other 3 rounds, well, Red Vipers have got it covered. And talking about their attack strategies, it was impressive. And Monka S, they've made a lot of mistakes then and there. Jora accidentally, he was tried to make lines of sight right from the cash room, in which unfortunately didn't have any information whether if there is an operator being present in the stock room, in which the Zofia did get an early kill at that exact moment. And talking about Red Vipers, they also did good amount of mistakes as well, especially from the final round on Basement Church. You did see the Maestro's Evil Eye Cam as well as the Melusi's Banshee deterrent being placed together. Not quite sure what the strategy was at that moment, because in the main and that it was placed in the main stairs. We did see some good 4Ks. We did get 4Ks from both the teams as well, definitely on attack, as well as the Melusi Kurosaki with the 4K. And also we did see some amazing holds coming in from Monka S, although they were a bit off when it comes to winning gunfights. Most of the time, the numbers of opportunities that Red Vipers did present to them, Monka S did not capitalize on it, which gave a loss to numerous amount of holds. We did see Firefly trying his best. Most of the round he used to get good amount of kills, but due to which having less amount of man count, he could not win a lot of rounds.
It was just a little unfortunate for Monka, as all things considered. They really tried their hardest, but Red Vipers were just too good. After those 3 rounds taken by Monka, Red Vipers brought it back in round 6, and they never looked back. This round from Kurosaki, just after roll swap, they had just taken 1 defending round, a much needed one, and now Monka were pressured to go for the plan. Scripted couldn't watch, but definitely was not in a position to take that gunfight. low on HP, he got down, and of course the planter got taken out in quick succession. The first couple of rounds from Red Vipers and Monka S on the other side of Rollstop were fairly close, all things considered, coming down to a 1v3 and then of course a 2v2. Firefly just couldn't get the plant off again, and he got taken out, this time by Killsteal, as it was just not to be for the side of Monka S. There's only so much I can say without sounding overly harsh or overly, cynical, if it were. And I try to avoid that, of course, ladies and gentlemen, but there's only so much one can say when confronted with a match like this. Monka S just didn't have things going for them. They didn't have the luck, and they didn't even have the sight on the win. Unfortunate for them, but hopefully they'll be able to make amends for that in the next couple of matches they have tomorrow and day after. But of course, this isn't the last match of the night. There's still one more to go, and that is Team L2K taking on Kira Esports. And we will be taking a quick break before coming back with that game very shortly indeed. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Baba Gusta and Raman Eisen, as we are here for the final game of Day 4 of Division 1 of Season 2 in the Pro League, and that is Kira Esports taking on Live to Kill on the map of Coastline. It's going to be going live in just a quick minute, as this is, of course, the final game of the night and what could possibly be a huge game indeed. Kira Esports, if we have a quick look at the scorecard right now, are currently tied second. Of course, the Monka's game has just finished, so it will take time for the tables to update, and Kira Esports will probably be on second themselves because Monka's round conversion did take a hit after that previous game. If Kira Esports manage to win this, they might go up even to the #1 spot, dethroning Union Gaming, while the 2K, they're on 5th position, and they need to work on getting up into the top 3 if they want to stake their claim on being one of the best of the best in the region. They certainly are here in Division 1, but there's some more work to be done. We're already in the ban phase with the Blackbeard being taken care of in the ban phase, and then we have the Ace ban coming in from Kira Esports. That's an interesting one, as you usually see a hard breacher ban when it comes to coastlines. Mostly it's a Bana, or there's even a Nomad, Montaigne, Thatcher ban, the whole 9 yards. But today, it is just Blackbeard and Ace from the side of the attack. Maestro will be banned from the side of the defense. That's Kira Esports bans done, as Ace and Maestro, pretty strong operators in every sense of the word, and that just leaves Live to Kill's final ban on tonight's match.
Talking about the last ban, an interesting ban coming in on the attack side, BB and Ace. Interesting on a map like Coastline. As we see the last ban on the side of defense, it will be the Valkyrie being taken out. So we won't be able to see a Navy SEALs operator being played on a map Coastline. And not quite sure why you would ban Ace on a map on Coastline, because unless and until if you pick a site like second floor penthouse, that's the only place where you do need a hard breacher to open lines of sight. It's technically maybe to make sure that the attackers wouldn't have line of sight right from the billiards room, and that's where Hibana would come in. But for now, let's just introduce the rosters on the side of Kira Esports. We have Atharva, Deathhammer, Catch, Shinra, that would be a Vim, I guess, and Rattler. And on the side of L2K, we have Fatals, JV, Skipper, Blank, and Nos. The side will be on second floor Hookah. 6-pick coming in from Catch as he switches from the Kali to the Nomad. As we proceed to the prep phase, the defenders will be on their way to finish up their preparations. Technically for Kira Esports attack phase. Talking about their operators picks, we do see one hard breacher, that would be Death Amar. His main focus is to open up the billiards room wall, and also the also making sure that he'll be able to take out the hatch in which Fatals is reinforcing on. Most of the time, you do see a Womai being picked with the deployable shield being placed to hold the angle from Aquarium. Now, since we won't be able to see actually there is Womai being played though. Nos, who is playing as the Womai, I guess he'll be the one holding towards Aquarium, and that's the reason why they've reinforced the hatch so that he'll be able to hold the angle and make sure the attackers would have a difficult time contesting in Aquarium. As we proceed to the action phase, Catch will proceed taking out the default cam as he will proceed towards the site, and Rappel coming in from a Vim.
Well, nothing too much right there. Shinra, i.e. of Vim. I like the name right there. Nice little Fire Force reference from the man. If that is, of course, I'll have to freshen up my anime memory later on post-stream if I'm missing something. But, of course, right now, that's the first one that jumps to my head as Skipper. He's going to waltz on past the white stairs because the window which was being held is no longer. I believe there was an attacker there a second ago, but they've, of course, moved on to the roof. As Vim is going to go down to the first floor kitchen area, do the roam clear, standard stuff from both sides. I'm surprised L2K isn't actually running a mira, but right now JV, his position is known on the blue stairs, the blue vibe stairs that is, and Avim is trying to find him. And in a second he might, unless Skipper has something to say about Catched, and he will. He's taken one, but there's somebody inside of Kitchen that he has to be worried about. He's going to instead choose to go towards office. Does he know that there's a Hibana here? Deathamer was close, but I think he's no longer close. There goes Avim in the meanwhile. Beautiful shot right there from JV. And the Eagle is going to find one more. No, Blank will take Rattler, and Deathamer will finally fall as Skipper manages to get the correct amount of shots into that Hibana. That's going to leave a third, the last man standing, caught in a 1v5. Everybody's running out. Everybody's hungry for this kill. And with a minute and 15 remaining, why wouldn't you be a turf? I mean, unless you start feeding him kills, which L2K isn't, there's not really much threat from the man. Oh dear, that's a... Oh, he's trying to BM. He's trying to BM Fatals! Oh, missed the first 360, but he's gonna go for the second one. Look at this. 1 and 2 and headshot with the shotgun. As L2K will take the first round in style, might I add. Taking the first round on defense on Coastline, going 1-0 up. And we're about to head to round 2. And I agree, Nos. I agree.
I mean, that 360 was so quick. I couldn't even get to see whether he was doing the 360. That was so quick. But yeah, I guess he just, I believe when doing his 360, maybe he was just holding it in the palm of his hand and then just tried to just spin it and get the kill. Although, I mean, yeah, I mean, A plus for style points, but unfortunately, we do see a rehost coming in from Deathamer. So looks like we are going to be going for a rehost with L2K winning their first round of defense. Second floor hookah goes to them, as we were about to proceed to round 2, where the site was about to go on first floor kitchen, but unfortunately they've asked for a rehost. Maybe either it should be a audio difficulty or a connectivity issue. So hopefully with this rehost they'll be able to come back, get, just fix the issues, and hopefully be right back with the game. But talking about now L2K's style when it comes to winning those gunfights has been improved quite lately.
I mean, okay, that's one way to put it, I guess, because you like to see it every now and again. Don't get me wrong. As much as competitive siege can be serious, it can also be a little bit goofy, a little bit, here and there. As we'll certainly remember that shot. Might not make it into the community, into the highlights of the week, but hey, it's something. And definitely, I'll probably be watching out for that later on in my VOD review. But interesting first round from L2K. I was about to say that they weren't actually using the Mira, who is unbanned tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But, as it turns out, they didn't need the Mira, at least on second floor hookah. They might need her when it comes to first floor kitchen, or if they have to go towards Blue Bar, Sunrise Bar, or Penthouse, depends on which side that they have practiced more on, taken more steps to assure victory on. Kira Esports, on the other hand, of course, round 1, they were just feeling out the enemy, testing the waters to see what worked and didn't, and they will have to sort of rethink their attack strategy going round 2 and onwards. But of course, the Rios had to be called because of some issues from the side of Kira Esports themselves. Deathamer was the one to call for it, and yeah, we can hopefully just get back quickly from said rehost, and we will be back with the match ASAP, as well as we're just waiting on all the players to join into the lobby. Shouldn't be too delayed. Should be pretty quick, all things considered. But Coastline, actually, when you think about it in terms of matches played in the league, you don't actually get to see Coastline too often because for reasons, I guess. I don't know why players no longer want to play Coastline as much. You usually see it. Usually, it's just Oregon, Clubhouse, Cafe, Oregon,
Villa.
Oregon.
Villa.
And it just keeps going on and on and on and on. I mean, I'm not saying anything against the fact that they want to play those sites, those maps, because, I mean, at the end of the day, the reason they're played so much is because they are so good in terms of map quality and in terms of playability. But at the same time, sometimes, having those differentials would also be a pretty good idea, all things considered. Now, I'm not saying they need to, they don't have to, and after all, there's no obligation to play all the maps in the league in competitive Siege, of course. But, they might a little suggestion here or there for any of them coming back to watch this stream later if they want to. Again, it's all down to if they want to, and I'm pretty sure they don't, so. All things considered, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a little bit of friendly banter between the two of us as we're just waiting on Kira Esports to join back in. L2K has been fairly quick in getting back into the lobby. You can see right there, all 5 of them ready and waiting. And meanwhile, Atharv is sitting all lonely like in the Kira Esports section of the rosters. They're gonna have to fix that soon.
Maybe you might be singing a song alone again naturally.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That's
I mean, it is a good song, but considering that Atharv is currently alone in the lobby, I thought it was a good a kind of reference joke to come in, but looks like it's just not going that well. But talking about the match, I do talking about the map phase, Jack. I do have to agree because most of the time you do see only Clubhouse, Cafe Dostoevsky, and Oregon. Sometimes you do see Villa, but Coastline has been coastline map pick has been reduced drastically. No, maybe it's due to Oregon having some incredible plays and also some huge land amount of opportunities, especially the first floor meeting hall and dining room, in which actually first floor meeting and kitchen, it proves to be quite efficient in winning for defenders most of the time. And on a map like Coastline, it's always attacker favored. And also talking about the ban phase, not quite sure why you would ban Ace. Yes, I do know that he is the he is a versatile operator when it comes to opening up either the hatches or the walls, but it's quite an interesting bans. You most of the time on map Coastline, you would either see a Nomad ban or a Capitao ban. Capitao is just simply due to his execution fees being very deadlier if they do eliminate the roamer who has the possibility of using the C4, the other who, I mean, if and one eliminating the C4, then second the smoke with the gas canisters to prevent the attackers from planting. All they have to do is just eliminate both of those operators and just proceed to go for the plant. And Capitao is mainly that operator which would give an upper hand when it comes to succeeding in planting the diffuser. But talking about the defender bans, we do see two Intel operators being banned, the Maestro and the Valkyrie. Maestro, yes, his Alda has a total of 81 bullets, I believe, and also a total of 2 evil eye cams, which would give information and convert information into kills, especially if the attackers decides to go for a plant without, eliminating those evil eye cams, which proved to be quite efficient for the defenders. So eliminating that, and also Valkyrie, yes, I mean, how can you not forget about Valkyrie? She is the queen when it comes to intel gathering, and of course Hibana is the queen of getting the hatches due to her next update, which is going to come in. It's a very handy rework, to be honest, Jack, don't you think?
No, absolutely. All things considered, it's a pretty big change to Hibana because up until now, you've only been able to shoot out all 6 pellets in a set instead of being able to choose if it's 2, 4, or 6. That's the change, basically. Giving players a little bit more freedom if they want to bait out impact tricking, if they want to just open a hatch, they're not wasting any extra pellets, and if they want to go for full breaches, they still have an option of versatility. They can go for all 6, all the 2 set of 6 that we see already, similar to a Selma breach. Or if they want to save on some, make a slightly slimmer vault hole, they can just do that by using 4 and 4. That's 8 instead of 12. You're saving 4, and you can still get, I believe, 2 more hatches and finish off all of your utility. Excuse me, right there. And that's a pretty good change, if I may say so myself. Along with, of course, changes, you have the Tachanka rework, but that, of course, won't be coming to competitive Siege until the esports season of 2021. A good decision, because this rework is something they have to keep their eyes on, because it's a little bit divisive, primarily because his gun feels a little sluggish, if I may. but his gadget is very good. Very good. It is very good at stalling, at holding enemies, at denying pushes, denying plants. Area denial is Tachanka's area right now. Maybe not as good as Smoke, especially in those late round rush situations, but pair him up with Smoke. That's where you're about to see some real plays right there,
You
ladies and
know,
gentlemen. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, just like Thermite said, put some C4 into the mix and you've got one hell of a combination.
Oh boy, I can already see that happening with Melusi coming in very soon. Already in, excuse me, right there. So yeah, given everything, it's going to be a pretty hefty combo to deal with, but that's of course a long ways away. There could be many nerfs, buffs, and changes to the game made until we get to that point, because we still have, of course, the entirety of December and January, and then there's the 6 Invitationals 2021 to go through. But before that, before all of that, come back to the present, there is the match between Kira and Live to Kill to go through, and that is going to be going live in just a quick second after making sure that everything is set properly in the lobby information right now. Blackbeard, Ace Meister, and Valkyrie are the bans, and of course, round 1 was taken by Team L2K on second floor hookah. Absolutely amazingly, might I add, as round 2 will be underway.
Well, first floor kitchen will be the site. We do see a Mira being picked from JV, so you might be able to see those mirror being placed, which would give angles from the kitchen towards the service entrance, and the second mirror wall being placed to give information towards the reception entrance. Never mind. As I was trying to explain about Mira, JV decides to go for a 6 pick as it shifts from the mute. Looks like the
I think-
caster's curse, Jack. Huh?
I was about to say, the caster's curse is really after you for the past couple of days, isn't it, Papa?
I mean, obviously, because most of the time, the amount of predictions I make, out of 12 predictions, only one would come.
Oh wow, you're keeping count as well. That's dedication.
I mean, most of the time I do keep my match histories on a piece of paper. So obviously I do keep things in check. So yeah, talking about L2K, they'll win their first round of defense in second floor hookah, but will it continue
10
on
seconds to
the
go.
first floor kitchen will be a question for us to answer.
5 seconds left.
Maybe we'll actually get to see it at the end of this particular round.
Attackers are
It's just
heading out to
for now
defuse
we
the
actually get
bomb.
to see it in action phase instead. I don't know what I was trying to go through, but anyways, main entrance spawn would come in from the attackers. They will take out the default camps and proceed to go to a service entrance. We might be able to see a inverted rappel from the service entrance door. We do see the Ash having good amount of information on where exactly the Vomai's location is, in which he's currently situated in the office, so he needs to be careful around. He is, I believe, still in the office, but Datham is going to find one, eliminating Skipper while he was going for the reinforcements. Quite unfortunate as Atharv tries to get another one, eliminating JV, giving them the instant control of the second floor entirely. Now the Sledge won't have any problems dealing with those roamers and mainly focusing on making lines of sight, vertical lines of sight, to hopefully force the defenders to roam to be in a very different positioning. Or will we see Blank getting his chance of redemption, gets caught from the drone and decides to fall back to the side?
Well, now Blank, he's gonna have to fight the Ash, and oh, beautiful shot, Rattler. He's about to regret everything about that push that he made onto that hatch. Ooh, Luggage Hatch looking some spicy right now. Blank, he's trying to go for another one in the meanwhile on the bedroom hatch. This time he knows that there's a sledge above him at least, seeing as Rattler is no longer. The sledge himself, the third, is going to decide to go above sight instead, make more vertical lines of sight, and get a couple of kills if he can, as Nos is going to be on a potential flank. Catched is watching this, so is Deathamer. Seems like there was a drone, and that is going to give away Nos's position, and his life is forfeit in this situation. Right now, Kira Esports have a pretty good lead, all things considered. Good man count lead, but they need to make good on time. And that's where Blank might have something to say alongside Fatals, of course, as they will need to make this round their own if they want to have a chance of getting 2-0 up. Drones has spotted exactly where Fatals is, and the Free Fire's about to come in. He doesn't see the Nomad through the barricade right there, and he's still trying to go for a peek. Gas grenade goes out as more verticality has been made inside the bedroom, and they could find the smoke right there if they just look in the right direction. Avim takes a little bit of damage right there, and there's a grenade that was popped down. That does a little bit of damage to Fatals, but nothing too fatal, per se. Deathhammer in the meanwhile is going to go down. That's Blank taking one. Can he take two? Yes, he can. Big run out. Pistol goes out, but he's going to miss. The Rhino didn't have enough bullets, and it's a 1v2 now. Avim recovers diffuser, doesn't know where the smoke is. He's going to go down. Who is now prone, and time will not work. What? Wait a minute. The Claymore, ladies and gentlemen, his foot kicked through. No, no, Fatals, no, no. He didn't see the Claymore. In a moment of desperation, he had to try and pull back away from the line of sight. And his leg shimmied on outside. And unfortunately for him, but very fortunately for Avim, he took Fatals down with him, as they say, as round 2 goes the way of Kira Esports. And we're going to be heading back to Kitchen in round
Attackers need
3.
to locate and defuse as many
Oh
bombs as they
boy. Oh boy, what an unexpected turn of events. I'm just
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, expect the unexpected. I just, my god, oh my god, I just don't even know what to say at that exact moment. It's just
Basically that situation was Avim got down by Fatals, but then the Claymore claims his life, and he's like, you may have outsmarted me, but I have outsmarted your outsmarting.
insertion.
no, I mean, there might be another meme in which Sophia goes
5
down and
seconds to
says,
go.
call the ambulance, but not for me.
This is a different take on that one. Let me
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
you that.
Yeah, the only problem is, I mean, if there was Doc, that meme actually would have made sense, but since it was the smoke and it, came out to an unfortunate ending,
Attackers
so
dropped the
we
diffuser.
do see Kira getting that win on attack first floor kitchen, and we might be able to see L2K strengthening up their defense, making sure that they'll be able to complete their reinforcements. In the previous round, they weren't, they were late in reinforcing the walls, which led Rattler get those 2 kills, and so does Deathhammer with the Buck eliminating both of them, getting the control verticality control. But just for that, we do see the flashbangs being thrown out from the attack as a skipper. He's actually thinking of going for the contest as the entrance come in, gets denied, and gets refragged again. We do see a lot of gunpowder and also a lot of chaos being spread at the early amount of rounds, as we are back to a 3v3 situation. A catch and Deathhammer goes down on the side of Kira, and JV skipper goes down on L2K, which would give the attackers the vertical control on the VIP lounge, Hall of Fame, and also Penthouse. We do see Rattler using the breach charges to open up the hatch in which he'll be able to get
Bomb located
the
by
control on
attackers.
security, making sure that there won't be any players playing also very close. But they do need to be careful of Fatals, because talking about it in the late rounds, he did do a good job when it comes to halting the aggression pushing in from the attackers. The only question is, will he be able to do it again? Is the biggest question.
Well, right now it's a 3v3, and both sides are equalized on the man count. They are trying to get inside. That is, of course, Kira Esports. Live to kill, and losing a couple of bodies early isn't about to affect them too hard, unless, of course, they get completely outshine Fatals. In the meanwhile, he hasn't been spotted, I don't think, and Blank came in for support as well, but it was Fatals who took down Avim. Shinra will fall, and that is going to make it a 2v3. Kira Esports on the disadvantage, but Fatals, you gotta watch above you, and he connects that! A third will fall, and it's all down to Rattler. Can this be the 3K that determines it all for this round? Fatal certainly is on the right path, ladies and gentlemen. What a shot! Looking above himself, as Rattler's going to go in the kitchen, take some damage, and do some damage back. No, not at all. Nos will turn around and take the kill with a headshot onto Rattler. We're going to see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. As round 3 goes the way of Team L2K, and looks like there's going to be a little bit of a back and forth between both sides. As round 4 will probably see us go back to hookah, or if L2K wants to change things up, they could go to bars or penthouse. I don't think they will. Nope, they will not. Hookah it is, ladies and gentlemen. Round 4 is a go.
Well, we won't be able to see any 6-pick as well coming. Actually, the 6-pick phase comes in right now, where now's the time to actually go for a 6-pick. Actually, no, everyone has confirmed their locks, and we are going to proceed to
Talk
round.
about a roller coaster.
Eh.
Attackers
Life
will
of Baba
locate
Gusta,
and
huh?
defuse bombs.
Well, we are going
yes.
to. Well, we will proceed to round 4, second floor hookahs. We do see some changes when it comes to the operator pick. We did see Death Hammer playing as the bug for around 2 rounds in a row. Now we do see him playing as the Hibana, which probably will be used to open up lines of sight in towards the billiards ball, especially, just go towards the roof and make lines of sight. Although he do need to be careful with any of a particular defender who decides to hold on
5 seconds to
towards
go.
the VIP lounge or at the hallways to try to deny those
Attackers'
lines of
objective is to
sight,
locate a
in
bomb
which
and
the
defuse it.
attackers would have a lot of problems dealing with that particular situation. Action phase will come in. Shinra Cashed will spawn towards the pool side, and Fatals will make his last minute decision of I wouldn't say decision, he's just making a crouch rotation and a good amount of rotations right from the hookah lounge, so that he is prepped and prepared. North will also do the same, making bullet hole peaks right towards one particular position, and also from towards right towards the theater. Skipper, he was in a bit of a trouble, but he will go back. But he's still in trouble because the drone has spot his exact location. You do see the sledge making lines of sight, but that pre-fire from Skipper, yet again, he will win that gunfight against Shinra. But an unfortunate one is Nos also does the same with the MP5, eliminating Rattler. And looks like Kira Esports are not having a good day at all. 5 C4 comes in, eliminating Atharv, as Atharv eliminates Nos as well. That's quite interesting one. Not quite sure how exactly happened at that moment of time, but the C4 did claims the kill, making Atharv in a very difficult situation here.
Absolutely. Deathhammer was the one who went down in the meanwhile, as Atharv is low on HP. Catched is on full HP, but against Skipper, who knows how long that's going to stay for. Atharv barely survives by the skin of his teeth, as Catched finds JV in the meanwhile. Those are a couple of good kills as Skipper will be confirmed onto. There we go. Catched actually steals that kill off of his teammate, but I'm pretty sure Atharv won't mind. He simply, like I said, barely got out of that with the skin of his teeth intact. And now it's down to a 2v2. Atharv is very low on HP. He'll have to be careful and play behind Catched. Wow, that is hard to say with an apostrophe S. He'll have to play behind Catched, who's going to be going up ahead. He's going to be going front or not, I guess. Atharv doesn't matter how low his HP is. He's got a couple of grenades to try and deny those magnets. And oh, that's a bad flash. That's a bad flash. As another one goes out from Catched, that's all of his flashbangs taken care of. And in the meanwhile, Atharv is oh, no push. I thought that would be a push through the flashbang, but turns out that wasn't, as a gas canister goes out. But still nothing from either side. L2K is more than happy to just sit back inside the site, sort of chill, and let the attackers come to them, because that's basically the current meta in Siege. While Esports are the ones who are going to have to put in some work, and that work will go unanswered. As Blank takes that kill, and now it's all down to Catch, who's got 2 defenders to go through. Blank has seen him. Can he get the kill? Yes, he will. Picks on the bomb, and finishes off the round. That is going to be L2K taking round 4, as we'll see in the ACT Fibernet replay. L2K, a fairly comfy 4th round, as they will make sure their lead continues to grow 3-1 going forward into round 5. And we're going to see a different site. That is a first floor blue and sunrise bar. That's interesting right there. And yeah, I mean, blue bar and sunrise bar has definitely been picked a lot more over penthouse and theater. So not really too surprising per se, but you don't get to see bars often. So I'm interested to see where both these sides can take this match from here.
Yeah, well, 1, 2, 3 favoring on the side of Team Live to Kill, and Nomad, whose flashbangs got caught with the Jaeger's ADS, although it didn't get caught with the second time
Defenders,
because
protect your bombs
she
from being
entered
defused
into
by
a
attackers.
flashback mode and then she came back to her senses and focused towards on the side. I mean, jokes aside, Kira Esports, they're doing all they can, especially on the attack side. The only problem is they couldn't get a hold of the roamers, in which Skipper has been performing extremely well, eliminating the roamers, actually eliminating one of the players. I believe that was Athar, who was trying to hold an angle from the kitchen. Eliminating one, did eventually he did get the refrag, and Melusi also does the same, eliminating Hibana right from the roof, in which Kira Esports, they did not expected that to happen. But since the site will be on
5
first floor
seconds to
blue
go.
bar, this site is a chance for Kira Esports
Attackers
to
are
win
heading out to defuse
the
the bomb.
specific side, because it is very difficult for the defenders to hold on to, unless and until if they decides to go very aggressive, go for either a spawn peek or a run outs. But we're not going to be able to see L2K doing that, so maybe they're just waiting for the attackers to get into a certain position to hopefully get that bait working out. Rattler will hold an angle and he just instantly goes down from Blank himself. First kill goes to him as Death Hammer does the same, avenging his teammates, eliminating Nos, making the score count to 4-4. The pre-fire coming in from Blank almost hits the head of Amar, but unfortunately didn't get the shot, but he will get the Sophia and continues to wall bang from the service entrance. He needs to get that kill, but he decides to go aggressive here, ladies and gentlemen. Womai, still alive, gets 2 kills as a third eliminates Skipper, making it a 3v3 situation here.
Man count equalizer right there, but until they get rid of Blank, they will not be in a good position. That is, of course, Kira Esports has a Skipper and a third exchanging some banter in the all chat about the death of the Jaeger just a second ago. Meanwhile, Blue Bar is being pushed pretty hard, I believe. Catched has rotated out of that reception area. So has Deathhammer. They know that they can't contest him. That is Blank inside of security, so they're not going to. Excuse me right there. As a Fatal, I believe I saw him going for a bit of a flank duty. Blank in the meanwhile is going to fall back as the hatch above him inside of security corridor was blown wide open, and he can't exactly sit there anymore. Deathhammer still going for verticality, needs to be careful, as I think JV still has his C4. He does. So he's going to go for a C4 play as he hears those vertical sides being made. The C4 goes out, but it will not find anybody. Catched. Take a bit of damage in the meanwhile. Not sure what happened right there, but as the timer ticks down, sure, they may have only 3 defenders to go through, save for 5. Oh, Blank, does he know? He does now, and he will get that kill. How does he get away with that? And finds another one. It's a quad, but couldn't turn around and get the Nomad in time. It's a 1v2, all down to Catched, as he is the last man standing for his team. Fatal's going for a big flank to try and get back towards Blue Bar via security, because Catched has the diffuser, excuse me, and he could go for a big plant right now. Fatal's position given away by the drone sitting inside of reception, as the man is just gonna trade himself into courtyard, waiting for Cats to come around, and he is. I think he's heard that. Fatals, he's repositioned by the tree, and the SMG low comes in once again. Catched will drop, and that will be L2K taking yet another round. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, as Coastline normally is an attacker-sided map, you know, in some regard. But today, L2K is proving that it can be defender-sided when played absolutely correctly. Blue Bar Sunrise Bar goes to them. They'll be heading back to first floor kitchen and a service entrance. Going into round 6, the last round before roll swap, and they have a pretty dominating early game lead of 4-1.
Well, first floor kitchen, this will be the last round for Team L2K on defense on map Coastline against Kira Esports. And talking about Blank, man, was that a rush of adrenaline. I hope I said that right.
No, Baba.
God
You
damn it.
didn't.
Adrenaline.
Yes.
Alright, I hope I said that right.
Attackers need to locate
All
and
right,
defuse
English
the
is,
bomb.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I love English. Well, the side... The side
lovely.
being on first floor
Attackers have located
kitchen,
a bomb.
we do see the same similar setups being made from L2K. Not quite different. We will see a roaming strat coming in from L2K, where most of the time you do see Skipper and Nos holding towards the second floor penthouse and towards the Hall of Fame to make sure the push from the attackers would have
Discovered the location
a lot of
a bomb.
problems making vertical lines of sight from that exact location, but they do need to make sure that they'll finish up their reinforcements and make sure to get to that position as soon as possible. Interestingly enough, we do see a vault rotation being made from
Attackers
service
are heading out
entrance.
to defuse the
That's
bomb.
technically
Attackers
if
dropped the bomb
the
diffuser.
attackers get
Attackers
the
recovered
control
the
of
diffuser.
service entrance by having a man disadvantage, the defenders would have a faster possibility of getting towards the service entrance rather than pushing towards the bathroom. So it is actually a quick detour for the defenders to get faster towards the site without being able to deal with the angles being made from the attackers. Atharv with the sledgehammer will open up the hatches towards the second floor penthouse as he will proceed to use his drones to give good amount of information to hopefully eliminate the Romos would come be situated in second floor penthouse. That would be Skipper and Nos, just as I talked about it. But Atharv, he doesn't want to waste time. He wants to make sure that time is precious. He wants to eliminate those players and make sure that they'll be able to get control. Hopefully go for the plant, force the defenders to put on a post-plant situation as best as possible. We do see JB in the hallways, but the C4 will be able to claim one, and so does the T5 SMG.
Oh, dear.
L2K with good opportunities, but that nade in which he was trying to rotate back did not work out quite well. But I just cannot keep up on how fast L2K is getting those kills over and over again, which leads to a very difficult situation here for Atharv. Will get one eliminating Nos, but he needs to find three more. The deployable shield which is being placed from Blank is a really good angle, and for the attackers it is a very difficult situation for him. He doesn't have any drones. He did use the nade already right from the hallways, but in the end Skipper with the bullet hole peak will be able to eliminate Atharv as L2K will win round 6 first floor kitchen, giving them the win on the first half 5-1. And also, as we take a look at it in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, we now proceed to the second half role swap, where L2K will be the one on attack. Second floor hookah lounge will be the site, and let's see if Kira Esports will be able to secure at least 2 or 3 rounds on defense.
Well, it may be just the trend, ladies and gentlemen, but it seems like dominating first halves are not going away anytime soon, at least for the time being. Monkas and Red Vipers did have an interesting 3-3 turnaround on the map of Clubhouse, but tonight, L2K have taken the first half with a lot of gusto, as we'll be heading to second floor hookah lounge and billiards room, while Kira Esports they are going to have to try and turn it around. It is, of course, the other side of roll swap, which means Kira are the ones on the defense, and they will have to try and make this defensive time their own if they want to have a chance of winning this match. They need to take at least a couple of rounds to get themselves started up all over again, because that one round they took way back in round 2, when we were thinking, did they? Okay, that's a very interesting way to make rotates. The use of a C4 and a Vulcan shield. That is, that is something.
5 seconds.
I mean, I don't think, mixing a Goyo shield and an impact with a bit of C4 would work out, but...
There are no impacts. There are no impacts.
I mean, there are no impacts. I mean, Kira's already...
4
Kira have
C4s.
wasted... Oh my god, they have 4 C4s and 1 barbed wire, because, now they have 3. Very interesting and very a curious pick coming in from Kira Esports. Though they still have 3 C4s. I mean, although a smoke would have been a viable pick, but this C4 might give some good amount of edge here, knowing that the site is on second floor hookah. So maybe we might be able to see a total of 3 to 4 operators still holding on towards the first floor, waiting for the attackers to push in towards the site and use their trap. But that trap is not going to work out well, as Nos eliminates Shinra. That's one player down, and also not any C4's been used just yet. They used one C4 to make a rotation hole, but that peek from Athar will be able to eliminate Fatals. With the use a bit of pistols, he'll try to take out the hard breach capabilities, but he needs to fall back because there is one more still holding towards the roof. Death Hammer thinking of going for a run out, but that run out gets halted off from Skipper, eliminating Death Hammer in the meanwhile, making it a 3v3 situation.
Well, this is certainly an interesting round, all things considered. From both sides, the turf is a little low from his own health pool, and he is going to have to be a little careful in the peaks he makes, but knowing a turf, that's not going to stop him, and he's just going to be going all in as soon as he gets any intel about wherever any of the attackers are. He's actually gotten a drone from one of his passive pests sitting somewhere in the map, and I don't think he'll be able to use the pest for intel, but that's at least some intel denied for the side of L2K. That's what really matters here is JV trying to make his entryway through Aquarium towards site. Blank in the meanwhile. There's the pest spot, and he's going to have to try and take that one out. I think he's been successful. He's going to peek out for this, as the third is going to find Skipper. In the meanwhile, C4 comes in from below, and how is Blank alive after all that? Meanwhile, they have the Thatcher coming in from Aquarium. Do they even know about this? I think they do. It is a 2v3 after all, and they've got a man to spare. That's a third down below. He's used up a C4, but that doesn't matter because he can still come in and get kills with that beautiful Commando 9 of his. Less than 40 seconds remaining for the side of L2K, who are just repositioning. And also by doing this, they're giving themselves time to reconvene about the mistakes that they made in this round. Blank gone up to hook deck right now. He's going to drone himself in with 20 seconds remaining, and I'm not sure if that's, you know, completely advisable. He spotted the Mozzie and the Jaeger. Positions given away, but no kills will be confirmed unless they make the push into sight. The door's broken, 10 seconds remaining. They have to get in there. Rattler takes a lot of damage right there, and the Mozzie will find the kill under the Thatcher in the meanwhile. There's a big drop as the diffuser goes down. In the middle of the room, they're trying to find the Zofia. Will he be able to? It doesn't matter because time will run out, and Kira Esports will hold on to sight going into the 8th round. Round 7 goes to them, and they have indeed put a second round on board for themselves. Much needed, much required, but they still have 3 more rounds to go before they can call it an equalizer, and that is why round 8, 9, and maybe even 10 are going to be very, very interesting indeed. We're headed to First Floor Kitchen in round 8, and it's going to be an interesting one.
I mean, talking about interesting, Jack, we do see a castle pick coming in from Catch. Those armor panels might be able to give some good... God damn it, not again. Again, we are going to see a 6-pick where it shifts from the castle to the Milus.
You nearly made me spit my water out.
Attackers need to locate and defuse the
What is
bomb.
that, 13 now?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, I said this yesterday that, you know, predictions are 50-50, but in your case, it's 99-1 at this point.
I mean, I wouldn't say 1, I would say 0.5. Because that's how my prediction is. Because most of the... I was trying to explain that... I know since Castle has been picked, the armor panels would have
10
been
seconds
a
to go.
good idea for them, in which it would give good, you know,
5 seconds to
good
insertion.
hold towards second floor penthouse and theater, because most of the time the defenders always hold towards the side. So having that armor panel would force the attackers to either waste 1 or 2 of their utilities to open up the castle panel so that they'll be able to go towards the side. Although yes, there is a sledge being played, but they will be able to get some, you know, good cheeky kills if they try to go for it. But for now, unfortunately, we won't be able to see a castle play. We're going to be seeing a pulse pick coming in from Shinra, I believe, as Athar going for a pre-fire towards the hookah. He knows that there is a push coming in which Nos decides to go for a pre-fire, mainly from the blue, from the cool vibe stairs, as well as the hallway towards the second floor, as the dronauts will come in from the attackers, providing useful information, and Nos will be the one to try to get at least 1 or 2 kills from this position. We'll be able to find one Melusi's Banshee deterrent, will be able to use one of the Ash's breaching charges to eliminate it. Athar with the good angles sees the Ash, but loses to their gunfight. making it a 4v5 situation. An early kill for L2K and a desperate one because they need that win as soon as possible to make sure that Kira wouldn't go for overtime. Blank, surprisingly enough, he's going to use his impact to try to take out the Banshee deterrent. Doesn't see the nade and also does the C4 in which Nos gets a double kill, eliminating Death Drummer. Meanwhile, he was trying to push in towards the hookah.
Well, a very interesting turn of events indeed. Blank going down, but at the cost of a third and Deathamer. So I guess, in a way, the side of Kira Esports could call it, excuse me, Live to Kill could call it even. Some damage is done to Catch because of Skipper, who is busy making vertical lines of sight to try and find that exact person that is the Melusi. They need a catcher, and Catched is trying to not let that happen. Takes a bit of damage right there from the C8 of Skipper, who is still kind of struggling to get that kill. Does a bit more damage, but incremental damage doesn't always lead to kills. I'm pretty sure all of these players will be able to tell you that one. As the Melusi has rotated out into the hallway, and JV sees someone directly below him, but isn't able to get the kill because he was busy in the animation of the hammer coming out and doing its work. He's still trying to find these kills as... X-Kairos pellets are being used somewhere else. Shinra, in the meanwhile, gets a kill onto Nos, equalizing the man count, much needed for the side of Kira Esports. As will that body be spotted at the Melusi's feet? There we go. JV finally shuts down Catch. A long time coming. As Rattler and Shinra, i.e. Avim, are the only two remaining in the 2v3. Gas grenade goes out to delay the push for Fatals right there. He's the man with the diffuser, of course, and that means it's imperative to try and find the smoke. Flashbang goes out. That's the second one. That's the third one. JV's gonna find Shinra in the meanwhile. That is the pulse down, and now it's all down to Rattler throwing his gas grenades. Will he find one? He has down Skipper, but the plant is going up. Can he find him in time? No, he can't, but he gets the kill anyway, and time will run out. Oh, that was so close for L2K. They could have had it, but unfortunately, the down onto the buck was exactly what was required for the side of the defense. Very, very well done, as we'll see in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. As round 9 will see us at a 3-5 scoreline instead of what we were expecting, which was, I think, the 6-2 that we were potentially looking at. That was a big one indeed, as right now it is 5-3 going into round 9 in favor of L2K, but they only have 2 rounds remaining before Kira Esports catches up to them.
Well, Kira Esports, they are not gonna give up. We do see a 6 coming in from Blank, switching from the Zofia to the IQ to give good amount of information about the Pulse's location. Due to his cardiac sensor, it actually does count as a gadget. The IQ will be able to detect and hopefully eliminate him as soon as possible. Knowing the out of nowhere C4 which came in right from the luggage hatch, eliminating the Zofia, while she decided to go for a drone, trying to figure out where exactly Melusi's location was. Unfortunately, didn't have good amount of information about exactly what happened, and an impressive 1v3 clutch coming in from Rattler. The smoke does the job for him, with the smoke canisters denying the push coming in from service entrance, force the attackers to push in, gets at least a total of 20 or 30 damage, decides to go for the plant. Skipper was downed with an impressive spray with the SMG-11, followed up with the denial of the plant in which the Rattler was nearby. We do see a run out from Shinra. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to find out anyone just yet, and he'll decide to fall back towards the site, whereas the attackers will do their normal job, taking out the default cams, using the drones to give information to their teammates, and when the execution comes into play, they'll make sure that they'll be able to eliminate the players on Kira as soon as possible. But will it happen is the biggest question here, because even with the early and mid games being very strong for L2K, it's the execution phase where Kira Esports have a stronger edge. And looking at that ADS, my oh my, a total of 3 ADSs being placed right from the blue bar, which would give good amount of protection of that deployable shield, but not to the operators nor the concussive nades in which the Zofia has. We do see a push from the Jaeger. He's going to go for a run out, eliminates one, but he gets refragged back. Quite an interesting turn of events. We did get to see Death Amar doing the impossible, going for a run out, eliminating one, but that 1-1 would not work out well, and so does that disconnect coming in from Cast, making it a 3v4 situation.
Well, that's not going to help Kira Esports, not in the slightest. Excuse me, right there. As Kira Esports, yeah, they're going to have to play this 3 versus 4 situation and hope that Cats can come back, make that a 3v3, as the third is going to find JV in the meanwhile. The Hibana is down, and L2K have just lost another big player. Can Fatal, with this verticality that he's establishing, a very wide angle, shall we say, on that hookah area, might be able to find one or two, but he's had to actually push up into hookah to try and get verticality onto these last remaining 3 defenders. A third Rattler and a Vim are the last 3 remaining. Excuse me, right there. And with a minute remaining, Live to Kill have only so much time and so much to do. Mozzie will be found in the meanwhile. A third, that was an ill-advised flank as he swung wide and got taken out for his trouble. Rattler, he's about to face some music of his own, but Nos, can he find Shinra in the meanwhile? I think he doesn't know. He saw him too, but turned away at the last second. I don't think he was expecting to see anyone there, and that was his demise. As now more shots are fired. Fatals is a little low on HP. Blank has to swing wide about this. He has to get this kill. If he doesn't, but the shotgun comes out first, and the IQ goes down. It's all down to the Sledge. Fatals, last man standing, and the ADS going off has given away his position. He's going upstairs onto verticality, but Shinra, the Pulse, can do him one better in this situation. Maybe even get a few bullets off as the grass grenade goes off, but that's not going to find anybody or anything. And Fatals, he's caught in a no man's land situation. He has to go down, but then you have the cross angles being watched as the Sledge tries to go in. He had to swing wide on the hookah door and got taken down by the Pulse for his trouble. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, as Kira Esports will take another round. Round 9 goes to them, as we will be going into round 10, 5-4 on the score line. And it's only 1 round to go for Kira to recover and make the comeback halfway complete. I say halfway because after this, they have to still win, of course. And Cats has rejoined us in the lobby, so there won't be any need for any, delays in the game. And we'll be heading on to round 10 right here on Hookah Lounge and Billiards Room.
Well, round 10 will proceed, and hopefully we won't be able to see any 6th pick. A cut. My luck is so bad. All right.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
That's
attackers.
Control, Baba, control.
That's gonna be a yikes from me, Baba.
Yeah, absolutely, Jack. I'm guessing I'm making a world record on this, Jack, 13, I guess this is the 14th time I've predicted this. But alright, talking about the match in hand, Kira Esports, winning 3 defense rounds in a row. Second for Hookah, first for Kitchen, and first floor Blue Bar. As we are back in the same side yet again, second floor Hookah this time. And we do see Kira Esports. We might be able to see a overtime match point unless and until Live to Kill find a loophole of Kira Esports' strategic line of defense. Action phase will proceed. We do see a Thurb with the Pest to make sure that they won't have good amount of intel from the attackers, from their drones. Thurb is actually thinking of going very aggressive. Decides to go for a spawn peek right towards the ruins. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to find one, but maybe Shinra might be able to give some information through his cardiac sensor. We'll be able to find one heartbeat, and that's going to be the Ash, I believe, who's currently rappelled in, going towards the roof. Actually, Nos is in towards the kitchen, and I believe that should be Blank, who is towards the roof. Yeah, there you go. Blank is towards on the roof, opening up the hatches with the impact, and Buck will also proceed to provide some support. So technically, what I believe that there might be a push towards the second floor penthouse and on the VIP lounge. So there may be a push towards an aquarium as well as the VIP lounge to make sure that they'll be able to get those kills as soon as possible. Technically box them in and hopefully go for the plant as soon as possible. Although we won't be able to see any smoke executions, we won't be able to see any smoke grenades. We do see 2 frag grenades, but Nos, my goodness, eliminating a third right from the kitchen. The Mozzie, unfortunately, he won't be available in this round, as the C4 and the Commando 9 won't be available. Shinra, with good amount of information, will be able to relay the positioning to their teammates, saying that there will be a push towards on second floor penthouse to see some lines of sight being made to hunt down the pulse. The attackers know where exactly the pulse location is. Push comes in. Shinra tries to defend all he could, but unfortunately going to lose that gunfight yet again to him, giving Nos the double kill, eliminating Shinra. They will now proceed to go towards the site and make sure that they'll put a stop to the defenders' end once and for all.
Absolutely. Right now, of course, with excuse me, there seems my throat is not supporting me, but Fails' grenade will be supporting him by taking out Rattler, but Deathhammer fires back by finding Nos. That's a big kill indeed. While you still have the Buck taking his position, Blank goes down. In the meanwhile, Cat is doing what he can as the Buck will go down. That's unfortunate, and that means Deathhammer will be the one to make the vertical lines of sight that the Buck was trying to make. In the meanwhile, JV gets the kill onto Cat, and that's a big drop as the diffuser is being planted. It is on the table, the billiards table, of course. Fatals knows that there's a C4 potential from below. Oh, that would have been dirty. That would have been unfortunate for L2K because both JV and the Sledge lined up. But unfortunately for them, of course, the Mute missed his shots, as we'll see in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. Lift to Kill will finally take a round after their mid to end round woes, and they will be the ones to go 6-4 up to the match point. 1 round to go for them to finish it all off, while 2 rounds to go for the side of Kira to try and go for overtime. Will it happen? Will it not? Let's find out on Hookah Lounge and Billiards Room. I can see Baba just back there waiting. He doesn't want to make a prediction, ladies and gentlemen. He knows if he does, he's probably going to get it wrong.
Yeah, I know.
And he does,
I mean, good thing you took over the preface part, Jack, because oh boy, I know when it comes to making predictions, I'm just entirely unlucky, to be honest. 0.5% is Jack. 0.5%, and that's how accurately then you go on to. But for now,
oh boy.
here, but for now, L2K is in the match point 6-4, finally winning the second floor hookah site hold from Kira Esports, in which they did win a total of 3 defending rounds in a row. Will we see L2K seal the deal against the opposition, or will we see Kira Esports making their win? We're actually going to find out here. Atharv again with the Mozzie. He's just going to place his best to make sure that he won't be able to give good amount of information to the attackers, as well as Deathhammer. This time picking the Mute. We did see him play towards the first floor blue bar. C4 did work out well. The shotgun, in which dealt good amount of damage, but unfortunately, one of the players who was trying to hold on towards the second floor hookah didn't win that gunfight against the opposition. But this bomb peek from Athav might, yeah, and actually he does not. He's going to fall back, but unfortunately we do see Catched having an unfortunate disconnect, which leaves Kira in a very difficult situation yet again. 4v5. We see Blank placing his claymore from the service entrance to make sure that run out would not happen. And talking about Kira Esports, they are very aggressive. We did see some aggressive plays from none other than Atharv himself, who at that time was playing as the Jaeger, I believe. Getting those important kills, even though he did get that instant refrag, they did get the win thanks to Rattler, who was mainly the one making those important plays with those smoke gas canisters. Nos doesn't want to waste the time. He has information. He wants to get the kill, and that kill going to go to Shinra with the MP5, who's just patiently waiting for the Ash to make a mistake, and he's going to be at least happy with it. But for now, his just main objective is to make sure that he'll be able to get the win as soon as possible. With the one player gone, the important player, that is Nos, being eliminated, and so does Skipper, as Rattler eliminates him right towards the Hall of Fame entrance. Blank with the bullet holes being made, unfortunately has a lot of problems dealing with, as he is in a total of 5 HP. Whips out the secondary pistol because he is afraid that Kira Esports might go for an aggressive peek, but he's just going to stay and hold the angle for now and wait for the defenders to make their move.
Has been located.
Deathhammer's about to swing wide towards the bathroom. No, he's not. The C4 comes in, but that's a distraction. Blank, you need to look to your left. Will he though? The shotgun comes out and it will find him, finishing him off and giving second floor control back to the side of Kira Esports. But wait a minute, Fatals, he was already inside the site trying to go for the plant and he got taken down by Rattler and JV as well. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay as Kira Esports will finally take second floor hookah lounge and a billiards room, putting us in the round of ones, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The round of ones will be in play, and that means it's only one round remaining before Kira Esports can go for overtime, and only one round before L2K can finish this match and dust off the shoulders and say GG. What will it be? We're about to find out, as looks like a last-second site change will see us go to Blue and Sunrise Bar and not Kitchen and Service Entrance. This is interesting from Kira Esports, but they did manage to take first floor bar back in round 9, so why not try it again, I believe is what they're going forward with. Catched is not going to be rejoining the lobby from the looks of it, and of course Kira Esports no longer have a rehost remaining due to Deathhammer taking a rehost very, very early in the match due to a sound bug. Just as I say that, Catch does come back, but he will be stuck to intel and no operator will be handed to him by the game, of course. That's just how it goes. He joined just a little too late, just a second too late. Had he joined in the middle of the six pick phase even, he would have been able to get away with any operator really. But unfortunately for him, it was not to be. Kira Esports will still have to play 4v5 with one man, practically manning all the intel, at least in the early to mid round.
Well, also, a third, if he does find some of the attacker drones, he'll be able to provide good amount of information. If he does catch a drone, of course. But for now, the attackers are just mainly careful because they do know that there is a Mozzie being played, and so does. Actually, the mute is not in play as well because we do see Rattler with the smoke gas canisters, in which proved to be efficient for Kira Esports for the past 3 to 4 rounds. It's working well, so they decided why not pick the smoke yet again and make sure to waste the attackers' time as best as possible so that they won't have enough amount of time to go for the plant and then get the win as soon as possible. This is technically Kira Esports' main strategy. It's been working out for them for the past 4 to 5 rounds, unless and until if L2K figures out a way to eliminate the entire players with some good informations being relayed to them, especially towards the reception. But also they do need to be careful of the Pulse's cardiac sensor, in which he is able to detect where exactly Skipper's location is.
Well, Cats will leave the game once again. Turns out that information manning won't be happening. But then again, Kira Esports have been able to make do with 4 players up until now. They've done pretty well in the rounds that they've had to play 4v5, and they have brought it back as a third C4 will find Nos. The Ash goes down once again. How does that keep happening? One has to ask, as a third will finally be downed as well. Can he be cleaned up on is the real question here. And will the kill be confirmed? They're trying to L2K, but they have to be careful of other angles being held by the side of the defense. He's going to pick back up the diffuser, and he needs to go for the kill onto a third. They can't let him be revived, but they also can't let the defenders take advantage by baiting that downed operator. They won't be able to, of course. Fatals has taken that kill, just as I was in the middle of saying that. And right now, it is a 4v3. Once again, man advantage has been restored as the Jackal will be tracking the Jaeger Deathhammer. He's got to be careful as his position has been given away. And I believe it will be given away one more time before, of course, it goes back to neutral. The Pulse, will he be spotted? Not quite. He should be spotted right now as the C4 comes in. Fatals, oh, barely survives that, as Shinra nearly took his life as well. But time is being wasted. That's what really matters right now, because Kira Esports have wasted a lot of time. Live to kill are still waiting on site entry. Grenade goes out as another gas grenade comes in to deny the plant, but JV will walk through all of that, and he is going for it right now. Can he get the plant off? Blank needs to watch the hallway. He isn't, and he will go down. That's unfortunate. The plant hasn't happened because of Rattler's smoke canisters, and suddenly it's a 2v1v3 even, with only 30 seconds and less remaining. Skipper, he's inside of Sunrise. He's found one. Can he find the other one in the hallway? He needs to get these 2 before time runs out. He's got 20 seconds and less to do it, and he has to get into sight. There's one rotating all the way from the security corridor towards sight to deny, and he's gonna see the Pulse, but he misses, and now the pre-fire should come in, and it does. He gets a kill, but he needs to get the diffuser. He's picked it back up, excuse me, and Deathhammer will have to deny, but but the angle's good for Skipper as he will not be caught from that long courtyard angle. He's gonna get the plant up, but can he get the kill? Does he know where the Jaeger is? He does, and he gets the kill! The spray with the RG-15. Skipper will be the one to finish off the game in the 1v3 clutch for his team. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be denying the side of Akira Esports any clutch potential that they had. And will be shutting down this game before it could have progressed any further. Round 12 on bars goes to L2K as they will be the ones to win it out in Coastline 7-5. What a match indeed, ladies and gentlemen. What a match indeed, as that is going to be it for day 4 of Division 1. And I know my hair's been a bit of a mess today, forgive me for that. But yeah, that's going to be it for day 4 of Division 1. Of course, it's not quite over yet because we have the Relive the Moment to go through in a quick minute right here, where we go over the clips of the highlights of the match. Temporarily had a brain freeze moment right there, as it were. But of course, we're just waiting on everything to be ready for the Relive the Moment to go live. But what a match it was indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you get to see these types of things, not every now and again, but, you know, you get to see them rarely, shall we say, and we're going to see them one more time. A couple of those clutches, a couple of those very good plays as Baba Relive is live. Take us through them.
Well, to talk about it in the first half itself, we did see L2K not having any problems. They were in defensive side. We did see Fatals with an impressive 360 flick out of nowhere. Although it won't be in the play of the week, he did make some impressive plays that L2K did. They did try to go all out, especially Fatals. Most of the time we do see those smoke gas canisters not even giving them the access towards on-service entrance. We did see some very aggressive plays coming in from both the teams. Even L2K when they were on defense, even Kira Esports were on defense most of the time. Yes, this was exactly the round where Fatals did had the opportunity to have that clutch happen, but most of the time the amount of important frags he used to get, eliminating the high ground potential and right from the second floor penthouse, did give L2K to not worry about that vertical lines of sight, in which L2K all they had to do is to just wait for the attackers to push in and then get the kill. And L2K, they didn't had any problems on defense at all. The only problem they had to deal with was when Kira Esports were on defense. Most of the time they were very aggressive, especially Deathhammer, with an unexpected run out right from the main stairs window, eliminating the sledge who was repelled in. He was trying to go for a drone in which he did not expect to see that run out happen, but eventually did get refragged out. But having that aggressiveness being played from Kira Esports, and then in the end relying it on Rattler, saying that, you know, it's a 1v3 situation, you have the smoke gas canisters, make sure you put them to good use. And he did exactly that, winning at least a total of 3 to 4 rounds, getting those early kills, making a 1v3 situation for Rattler most of the time. It did work out well, but it doesn't work every single time. And talking about Blank, he had a deployable shield, and this was technically a late round deployable shield being placed there, because he knew that the diffuser was down. He just have to wait for the attackers to push in towards the hallway, and he had a deployable shield in hand. Why not just use it and make sure to get that advantage as soon as possible? And using those utilities at the right moment of time did give L2K a good amount of opportunity, but not that much when they were on attack. And talking about the clutch that Rattler did, and this was exactly the round that I was talking about, even with the SMG-11 having a total of 5 bullets, he somehow managed to get that headshot, denying the plant, eliminating Skipper, and getting that win.
Absolutely. It was a great game from both sides, all things considered. And Kira Esports on the other side of Roll Swap, they did well to take a couple of rounds back to back and continue to try and deny Lift to Kill. They took them all the way to 5-4, in fact, and could have had the equalizer / man count victory, and even, going for overtime. Could have happened, but it was not to be, as after all, when it came to rounds 10 and 12, Lift to Kill managed to salvage what was remaining in their attack. They managed to pull themselves together and get much required, desperately required wins, in fact, even though Kira Esports showed that they were still not ready to give up, because then we had round 11, which was another very dominating round from Kira. They were just not willing to give up, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what you like to see when it comes to competitive Rainbow Six, not the willingness to not give up, to try and outsmart your opponent, and to be as consistent as possible in your plays. Both these teams, all these teams in Division 1 know it. And of course, with all that being said, the last round, the RG-15 spray from Skipper, we all saw this, but oh boy, was it a close round. It could have gone either way, and had Deathhammer started pre-firing around the bomb, he still did. He just missed his shots because I don't think there was enough intel for the man to try and get the kill. Well, regardless, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for ourselves here at the Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege. From myself, Blackjack, and my co-host Baba Gusta, and our admin Eisen, we'll be saying good night tonight and coming back tomorrow at 6 p.m. with more Division 1 action. We'll be back with that. Day 5 and Day 6 are yet to go, of course. We are on that 3-day Division 1 marathon. And before we go, a reminder to all of our viewers to check out the Esports Club with the link down in the description below for Season 3 qualifiers registrations, which are still live. If you want to be in the thick of the action in the qualifier stages, even in some stream games, or even in Division 3. The chance is there, and the link is there down in the description below for all parties involved, solos and squads. So head on over to the Esports Club and get yourselves registered, and with that, we are going to be finishing off tonight and starting back up tomorrow with Division 1 Day 5. Stay tuned, and good night.